We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a late night Saturday. Welcome to Vikings Uncensored. We are here. We are live, and we have a trip out to the West Coast this weekend as the Vikings travel to take on the Seattle Sea Chickens. Is it 3 o'clock or 3:30 tomorrow?
Great comment to kick it off. That's great. I love it.
Yeah.
That's why we keep going, Rhino. Man, it's been hard to keep going, honestly, this year. We've talked about it off air. You know, this hasn't been. I give respect to all those Vikings podcasts out there that have to follow this team this year. It has not been easy week to week following this team, especially with a season like we've been having, Rhino. And I mean, I can't think back to, I think, maybe the 3-win season that was as bad as this is going right now. So,
yeah, we had that 4-win season with
the Josh Freeman debacle. That was pretty embarrassing
the last
season.
Les Frazier year, yeah.
Right.
And
sometimes I forget that Frazier was even a head coach here, you know, at some points. But
try to block it out of the subconscious, but yeah, it actually did happen. So
yeah. I love Frazier as a person and a human being. He wasn't.
Yeah, he's a great person, but it was a shitty.
Another great example of a decent defensive coordinator, but not the greatest head coach.
Mm-hmm. Gary summed it up pretty well. It's a shit show. Fire everyone. Good evening, Ant. Gary, Disgusting Act, Angel Dust, Doc is here.
Angel Dust. Oh, it is Angel Dust. Wow. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Riley is here.
Mike Tice wasn't a bad coach. He was just given the short end of a stick.
Mike Tice was a lot better coach than people gave him credit for because he had Red McCombs as an owner who was so goddamn tight. If he shoved a lump of coal up his ass and made him fart, he'd shit diamonds. So
yeah, that's exactly it. Mike Tice, like I said, got the short end of the stick on that deal.
Well, I mean, we had what's his name? That we had not only as offensive coordinator, but he was also the quarterback's coach, and I think the painted the lines on the field before the games.
That's
and
so fucking ridiculous, man.
Yeah, it was.
Talk about being a tightwad with your money.
I forget what it was, but I think we had like 6 or 7 coaches less than anybody else in the league.
Right, because you got a tight ass running the ship, and Red McCombs. I'm so glad that. I know a lot of people. There's more people coming out that don't like the Wilfs. I still love the Wilfs. I love that they're willing to spend money to try and make this team great. But when you're floating right around the middle of the pack every single year, it gets to be pretty mind-numbing.
Well, and that's the thing, and that's always been my gripe with the Wilfs is that they are more concerned about being bad than they are trying to be great. They want as long as they could keep us, in contention and just so they keep butts in the seats. That's really all they care about, I think.
I agree with this, Rye, with McCown deserving way
Yeah.
more. He's actually having to do his job this season, and it's showing on the field.
Well, yeah, and he was one of the hot names for coaching candidates and stuff
Right, he was
last
one
year.
of my hot names. I thought he was going to be one of the next guys to get a head coaching job, and right now it's not looking so bright and
No,
sunny.
that star has faded this year, along with many other.
Well, even
coaching.
Flores is starting to fade. I mean,
Yep.
we've always been big Flores guys, but it's getting to the point right now where it's almost like you have to clean house.
Yeah, and it's honestly, I don't know that anybody. I mean, I don't think Kevin O'Connell's getting fired at the end of the year. Stranger things have happened. I mean,
Nice. Right. Some good facts.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. A lot of people forget that, McCown was Bryce Young's quarterback coach his first year when he stunk up the show too.
This is so true, but I like how they try to. I like how they're not like a Jerry Jones type of owner, where they want to have their nose in all the football operations.
Well, they're not as out front about it as Jerry Jones. I still think that they have their fingers
board
in a lot of the personnel
on there
decisions,
where they listen to people, like the whole Harbaugh thing. We had him in house, Rhino.
Yeah,
but we had Harbaugh in house wanting to come here to be a head coach. We should have fucking had him sign the dotted line.
Well, that was because of one of the minority owners who used to be, was a Michigan alum and was a big booster and stuff up there, and he, went out there and thinking his shit didn't stink, and then Harbaugh told him to get the fuck off his field and not bother him or whatever.
Right.
So he got his panties in a bunch over that, and that's why Harbaugh's not here. It's nothing to do with the Wilfs. It's because they listened to one of their minority owners who refused to sign off on it.
Right. And then we just said that too. The Wilfs aren't cheap, but just old enough to remember how cheap Red McCombs was. Yeah. Yeah, this is one of those seasons that you just want to forget about unless they somehow give us something to cheer for.
Yeah. Disgusting act here. Very good point.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I've been saying it since the beginning. This is a playoff roster. A lot of people don't agree with that too. I understand.
Yeah,
this has got to stop. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too. Darnold was never going to win us a championship here because
we need to wait and see what he does. He did everything that he's doing in Seattle. He did with us last year. Let's see how the end of that season,
including shitting the bed against the Rams. He threw 4 interceptions in that game against the Rams 2 weeks ago.
God, wouldn't that be? I mean, I'll if battling for the 7th seed and making it into the playoffs this season is what we can look forward. I'd be all about that. It's about getting into the dance because the dance is the next season. And if we're doing enough to get to the 7th seed, that means we've turned it around this season.
Yeah,
I know. If we're battling for that 7th seed by the end of the year, and I feel like this is just busted ass talking shit at this point. But if we're good enough to get that 7th seed, then we've turned something around this season.
Yeah, but to Riley's point, is it, getting?
I will eat crow. I'm sorry, Rhino. I will eat crow if Sam Darnold takes that Seattle team to the Super Bowl. I feel so damn sure that that's not going to happen.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
Yes, we always do.
We've been proven wrong on this show before, and we've owned up to it.
Yes. We will always own up to the things that we say that don't pan out. But you know what? And I don't mean to sit here and beat our own drum, but a lot of times we've been fairly right on a lot of the things we've called here on Vikings Uncensored.
Yeah. And to be honest, I have no ill will against Sam Darnold or anything else. I just from the eye test and everything else, that I don't think when the lights shine bright, he collapses. And he proved that last year. against the Lions and against the Rams. When it got to the, number one seed was on the line. He shit the bed against the Lions. Wild card game, chance to move on, chance to keep going. Shit the bed against the Rams.
And exactly.
Gary, absolutely right. Good morning, Nympha. Good.
Norse, this is the Wild jersey. At least I'm wearing something to be proud of at this moment.
Yeah. That remains to be seen yet. Feast mode. I have not given up on McCarthy yet.
I haven't either. You know what?
Seeing what I have seen, should he have sat another year? Yes.
I agree. I believe he should have sat another year.
But
you know what?
Should the Vikings have had a better contingency plan behind him? Absolutely, yes.
You know what, though? The best thing that could have happened to J.J. McCarthy is exactly what's going on right now, I think, for the future.
Well,
whether he pans out or not, there is always going to be growing pains with any rookie quarterback you bring in. And it goes back to my comparison as far as player comparison goes. Look at Steve Young. Came into the league, had a historically bad rookie year, played his way out of the NFL. Not saying J.J. McCarthy, Steve Young, but there's some eerie similarities there between the two. I mean, Steve Young played his way out of the NFL into the USFL, had to play his way back into the NFL, and went on to be a future Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
So,
and now again, to fairness in rippage and everything else, yeah, McCarthy has been extremely bad, and he seems to have regressed. But Kevin O'Connell has done him no favors either.
I agree 100%.
He talked about this last year. Teams fail young quarterbacks way before young quarterbacks fail teams. Well, Kevin O'Connell has been failing J.J. McCarthy, A, because he threw him out there obviously before he was ready. B, he is not calling plays to, make things easier on McCarthy. Yeah, Norse, you're absolutely right. But that kind of rolls us into like the Packers game last week. That was the most uninspired team I have seen.
I don't know. That Chargers game was pretty uninspiring.
It was, but I mean, McCarthy against the Packers last week, I mean, he looked like he had zero confidence out there. They did try to run the ball, and they were running it.
The turning point of the game, Rhino, comes down to one play.
Was that fucking Miles Price fumble?
I don't know. I won't say that, so we're not going to see eye to eye here. That the turning point, in my opinion, in that game was the fucking tight end dive.
Well, there was that too.
Did not work.
Yeah, but
everything before that was
still, it was still a one-score game, and then it wasn't a fumble. I'll correct myself on that. And here again, this is why Matt Daniels needs to be fucking fired. You tell your guys to get the hell away from that ball, because it is the coverage team's job to try to block a player into that ball when it's bouncing around down there like a freaking pinball. And Price, instead of getting the hell out of there, stayed engaged, and then the ball ends up hitting him. Packers get the ball inside the 10-yard line. All of a sudden, they score a touchdown, and the game is over.
That, my friend, is one of the prime examples of Vikings lore right there in that play. Some fucked up, fluky fucking play on that punt return. Oh, I thought he was drafted by the Bucks, played a year with the Bucks, and then was released and went to the USFL. But you may know more than I do as far as that goes.
Yeah,
I just know he was.
I think he played with the USFL first, then went to Tampa Bay,
and then
from
fucking
Tampa
stunk
Bay
it
to
up
San Francisco,
and sat behind Montana until his number got called again.
Yep. Yeah, that was
Hawkinson's just not that guy no more.
No, I'm done with Hawkinson too. We got to figure out a way to move on from him next year too.
Angel, man, pecan pie is my favorite. My favorite of all pies. I love me some pecan pie.
I don't like pecan pie, and I don't like
gingerbread cookies are fucking nasty.
Yeah, they're both nasty as far as I'm concerned. So,
but I love me some pecan pie. Okay, with all this Brosmer talk, I know we might as well talk a little bit about Brosmer.
Yeah.
I love the things I love about Brosmer are his processing skills, the way he processes the play, and that release. You can't teach that quick release to anybody.
No.
That release is very fucking fast. The way he can spin that ball. And the few times he's seen the field this year, a lot of his passes are there, but the receivers, and this is the story of the season too, receivers dropping balls at critical
Yeah.
points in the game. But Brosmer has been pretty damn accurate when he's been on the field,
He
whether it be the preseason
he's
or in
more
spot
accurate,
duty.
and he is able to layer his throws a lot better than McCarthy does. He's not just sitting back there throwing it 100
Or
miles an
100
hour
mile
every
per
time.
hour piss missiles 10 feet above your receivers' heads.
Right. Now, apparently Charles Rocks is a Seahawks fan, which welcome into the show. Great, we always welcome in
Right.
opposition for the week, as long as you're not
In here being a D-bag and talking shit.
like what's
Let's
his fuck
talk real football.
what's his fuck from the Bears here a couple weeks ago.
Twat.
Twat.
Twan. Excuse me. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever his name was. Seahawks D line, Vikings offensive line is going to be down again tomorrow. Brandle's going to be starting at left guard because Donovan Jackson is out. Darisaw is questionable. Okay, Charles is a Vikings fan. Okay.
Right on. We'll take all the realists in here too. By all means, respect. That's what we're all about here. Just
remember 2010, 99, 2017. Also remember 87, various other times during the 80s. I was too young for this to remember the 70s stuff. But
that's just it. That's one of the throws I was talking about too, Rye, was that throw to Thielen he had when he came in spot duty, right in Thielen's hands, and Thielen dropped it.
Yeah.
Granted, though, Thielen had an amazing catch last weekend against Green Bay on the sideline there to convert a third down. That was great. That was vintage Thielen, man.
Yeah, but vintage Thielen has been very few and far between. I mean, that guy is spent.
He's aging out. Yeah, he's almost out of gas.
That trade is looking to be one of the worst moves in a series of bad moves this year.
Somebody had a post. Drew had some post where it said that somebody went and traded for this guy, and we went and traded for Adam Thielen. I don't remember who the guy was he was talking about, but
Micah Parsons.
Yeah, Green Bay goes and trades for Micah Parsons, and we go and we trade for
Adam
an aging out Adam Thielen. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Charles, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And we've talked about that for the last 3 or 4 weeks on this show.
And is it overcoaching with JJ McCarthy? Are they overcoaching him?
No, I don't think it's overcoaching. I think it is Kevin O'Connell morphing into Brad Childress and having so much of an ego that he refuses to change his system to make use of
where JJ can just go out, relax, be himself, and just ball and be the player that he is.
And JJ McCarthy's a mobile quarterback. He gets out, can get out of the pocket.
Same thing happened to Dobbs a couple years back.
Yeah,
with O'Connell.
I was talking to a buddy of mine last night about this. We were sitting there, and when Dobbs first came in, he did not know the playbook. They went out and let him play sandlot football, and he was great for like 2 games. And
Until O'Connell tried to make him something that he wasn't.
Yeah, because then Kevin O'Connell okay, you've been here for 2 weeks. You should know my playbook now. So he tried to shoehorn him back into his system, and then he couldn't do it. And he's doing the same thing with J.J. McCarthy.
See, and I don't think it's that he doesn't see Thielen. It's that Kevin O'Connell is trying to make J.J. something that he isn't. He's not letting McCarthy be JJ McCarthy.
No, and
that's why I think McCarthy's got so much on his plate right now. His head's probably fucking spinning because he's trying to do all these things that O'Connell's doing. I posted it on our page today. I don't know if you've seen it, Rhino, but where is the JJ McCarthy that was making the passes he was making in college that he's not making now at the next level? Well, people want to say, well, the NFL is different than college football. Well, at the end of the day,
but basically Kevin O'Connell had it
accurately.
Kevin O'Connell handed an 8th grader a freaking college level calculus textbook and said, "Here, your test is tomorrow."
Yeah.
And he keeps doing it. He can't his ego was to the point again. I keep
I still
hearkening
get to see
back
a
to
quick
Brad
slant this
Childress.
year.
It was the kick-ass offense if it's run correctly. Kevin O'Connell has the cock-ass offense or whatever it is here. And and our buddy Drew has brought this up many times. J.J. McCarthy at Michigan was a running quarterback. He got out, he scrambled, he made plays. He was a Fran Tarkenton-esque type quarterback at Michigan. He's obviously been instructed not to do that stuff here because he doesn't do it. He has running lanes and he has
Or the
opportunities to
bootlegs.
take
Where are
off
the
and
fucking
run.
bootlegs for this kid? Where
Yeah.
you get him out of the pocket and making plays on the fucking on the edges? I still, like I said 2 minutes ago, I still have yet to see a quick slant in this fucking offensive system.
Yeah. Charles Childress won one playoff game, which is better than Kevin O'Connell's none. But yeah, Brad Childress, people forget about, the NFC Championship game. Yeah, but we had the bye, so we didn't play the wild card round. So we won one game, that game against Dallas, and then
There'll be
turned
nothing
around
more
and got.
Vikings than this.
Yeah, I hope Brosmer comes out and lights it up tomorrow. And it would be the most Vikings thing ever to be 13.5-point dogs or whatever we are right now, and for Brosmer to come out and go for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and the Vikings win that game tomorrow.
No, KOC calls plays like he thinks he's the fucking biggest genius on the field.
Yeah,
he thinks he's pulling out some secret weapon. When in reality, it's not. Whatever he pulls out doesn't work.
No, I mean, we give Dan Campbell shit for calling stupid plays and stuff all the time and outsmarting himself. Kevin O'Connell outsmarts himself all the time.
On a game-to-game basis, Rhino. On a
quarter-to-quarter basis a lot of times.
Yes. Just like that tight end fucking dive last week that had there was no fucking reason for that.
At that point in time, you're running
6 yards a clip, Rhino.
Yeah, it was 6 yards a clip that your running backs were running at, and you hand it off to the fucking guy that can't get any yards after catch at all and can't.
I was talking to Doc during the game. Why not just hand it to fucking CJ Ham if you want to do some shit like that?
Right.
Run a fucking fullback dive. You think too much. You think way too fucking much.
I'm gonna be cute. We're gonna line the tight end up under center and run. No, you just
and you know what's coming when you see that because you know what Kansas City's doing with Kelsey. The defense is gonna see that and they're gonna be like, oh, Hawkinson's getting the ball here and he's gonna try to do the tush push.
And we've talked about this before. Sometimes you just got to go out there and play big boy football and impose your will on somebody else. You don't need to be playing 4D chess all the time when you can be.
Just call the right play. Call the right play on 3rd and short.
Yeah, you're averaging 6 yards a clip. You go in there, go out with a heavy package, throw 2 tight ends and stuff in there and a fullback.
Campbell's not on drugs, and Campbell's obviously got the whiskey nose. If you're looking for a coach on drugs, you look at fucking Mike McDaniels down in Miami.
I think Mike McDaniels dealing drugs down in Miami, but that's just me.
Yes. It's the KOC is killing JJ McCarthy in this league right now. He is.
Kevin O'Connell wants a Matt Stafford type quarterback, which is why he wanted Drake May so badly.
Right. But Drake May is like Matthew Stafford with some wheels.
Yeah.
Stafford, though, was kind of underrated with his athleticism, though, back in his prime.
When Stafford was younger, he was more mobile, too, but Drake May is that Matt Stafford kind of. Kevin O'Connell wants a pocket quarterback who's going to stand in there and chuck the ball down the field.
Kirk Cousins-esque.
Yeah. But, and I mean that's something maybe Brosmer does better in this because he's more of that kind of a quarterback.
More suited to Kevin O'Connell's system than JJ McCarthy.
I think he actually is too. If Kevin O'Connell is going to be as rigid as he is and not vary it for his players' strengths, then yes, I do think that Brosmer probably is a little bit better fit.
No, we couldn't, because what I'm seeing isn't funny. What I'm seeing is fucking
No,
infuriating.
because if the average fan like you and I
I
and
love me
everybody
some
else
Stephen
here
A.
can see what's going on here, and the reigning coach of the year can't figure this shit out, but we can.
Mitch Hedberg, Doc. Right.
Well, what does that say? It goes right back to that whole ego thing we've been hammering on for
How
the
many
last
times has
month.
Kevin O'Connell been out-coached in his time here?
This year, about
Just this year alone? Yeah, quite a
10
few.
times,
Yeah.
9
He's been
times.
out-coached so much in his tenure here by the good coaches,
Yep.
by
But
the good
what's
teams.
gonna happen. It's this whole thing. Okay, when he got here, we played a third or fourth place schedule because of the shit that went south with Zimmer his last year. Went out there, won 13 games. Great. Next year comes. Now, granted, we did have the Kirk Cousins Achilles and all that other stuff on top of it. Had a down year. Well, then with a down year, we have an easier schedule again. Last year, we won 14 freaking games.
It's the
This year, we
same
have a
thing.
harder schedule, and now we're shitting the bed again.
Same thing was going on with Zimmer when he was here.
Yeah.
Every other fucking year.
It's been going on for the last 20 some odd years. That's why the Vikings have only made the playoffs like 4 times this century.
Yeah, it's people want to say keep trusting in the process, but like we've been echoing it for the last 5 weeks.
We
We've been
talked about
trusting
it,
in the process for 4 years now. And you want to trust in the process for another 4 years?
and we talked about that. This was a 4-year process, and
There
in this
has to be a
4-year,
fucking end game at some point. There has to be a finish line at some point, and you don't just keep extending that finish line ahead.
it was for a time until the Williams wall retired, and then that kind of fell apart too. But
Nice, another new name.
yeah, it's Caleb Dog. KOC's play calling didn't help JJ at all. Yeah, exactly. We were talking about that a little bit earlier ago. I don't think there is a slant in Kevin O'Connell's playbook.
Great comment by Josh Mickey right here, Rhino.
Yeah, we trusted the process for 4 years, and
Nice,
the process has
simple, and truth.
the process has not given us shit. But to the point we're making here, if the season continues on the trajectory that it is, and we finish out, 4-13, 6-12, whatever
Well,
the
we're
hell.
gonna win a couple more games before it's all said and done.
But I'm just saying, if it continues on this trajectory, and we only win another game or two the rest of the year, somebody is going to have to take the fall for this.
Yeah, if not a few people.
Yeah.
So
Matt Daniels needs to go. Chris Cooper needs to go. I would say that Kwesi's job is not safe, even though he just got an extension.
right.
And if you fire Kwesi and you keep if you keep Ryan Grigson around, then you're dumber than I think you are.
Grigson can lick my balls.
Great. I said this when they hired him. That was a stupid fucking
hire.
And
Been
a lot of the
blessing
free
lately.
agency signings and stuff like that this year had Ryan Grigson's fingerprints all over them.
I think we're just lucky guys keeping it in house and not letting it be public. There, Gary. It's a blessing to have a player of Jefferson's status be able to handle what's going on right now the way he has. So
yeah, 99% of the wide receivers out there would have been lost,
yelling at their quarterback or their head coach or causing some sort of fucking distraction in the locker room. Yeah, and Jefferson has done none of that.
Can you imagine if Diggs or AJ Brown were here right now?
Right. I mean, granted, we did see the frustration on Jefferson's face a couple of weeks back.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as going on social media and starting drama and stirring that pot, it just doesn't happen. And I'm thankful for that.
Yeah. I'll comment on this one here. JJ McCarthy's future is not written yet.
No, and he's so young. He's just so young. He's 22.
And he obviously was not ready to start. And that is completely on the coaching staff. started the show off with that. He was not ready to start. We were told that he was, and that's where a lot of the hype from the fans, we bought into it.
With
Everything
no
else,
preseason play at all either. You didn't get those
no.
reps in preseason that you should have gotten.
He was treated like a 5-year vet or 5-6 year veteran in training camp when that kid should have been out there playing a half of each of those preseason games.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, I mean, if Brosmer goes out and lights it up tomorrow, that's great.
That is great. Yeah.
And if it creates a quarterback competition between Brosmer and McCarthy for the rest of the year and next year, also great.
Right.
Because here you get the iron sharpens iron competition, and that was the thing. JJ was handed this.
This won't happen
year.
Unless he gets fired. He will never turn over play calling.
Or he is directed to by. It's going to have to come from ownership because I don't think Kwesi holds enough clout to go into Kevin's office and say, "Hey, you are going to give up play calling." It's going to have to come from somebody higher than that. But here again, okay, do you trust Wes Phillips to call plays? Do you trust? We talked about Josh McCown earlier in the show. Do you trust him to call plays?
If I want anybody to call plays, I'd probably be looking at McCardle.
Yeah.
At this point, he's probably the best coach on the coaching staff right now, outside of, depending on how you feel about Brian Flores. McCardle is probably the best coach, on this roster right now.
You're not wrong there, Disgusting Act. I mean, if you have two quarterbacks, you have none. Yeah, I get the analogy there, but you could, if you have two quarterbacks, you also bring out the best in whichever one of them. I'm not saying that that if you have two quarterbacks, you have none. That kind of goes into this guy's going to play the first half, this guy's going to play the second half kind of thing.
I think of that. A lot of that goes into who you have in the locker room too, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Norris, I think it's getting pretty close to that if it hasn't happened already.
We were buying it, Rye. The McCarthy hype.
Well, and that's some of the problem is he was showing this stuff, the kind of stuff that gave people that hope with the hype in practice and training camp. I mean, that joint practice against the Patriots, he went out there and dominated that game or that joint practice.
Yeah.
But he hasn't been able to show it in any of the games short of, a couple of drives here and there in the 8 games he started or whatever it's been. Yeah. That's a thing I still don't understand was, Wentz really shouldn't have been in there. I mean, he wasn't going to take himself out, but realistically, the medical staff probably should have stepped in there. But
and I think a lot of it with JJ is that they're asking him to play chess when he can only play checkers right now.
Yeah. Discussing act. Yeah, you got this. But and here again, this is where I want to caution everybody with the Max Brosmer thing. Everybody's, expecting him to come in and be. I keep hearing all the Brock Purdy comparisons and stuff all week long here. But the thing of it is, we're basing that off of what we saw from Max Brosmer in training camp and preseason.
Yeah, I want to see
it. How many times have we seen that with all these the Jaron Halls of the worlds, the Kyle Sloters of the worlds, the Kellen Monds of the world?
Well, in Brosmer's defense, Jaron Hall didn't look as good as Brosmer did during the preseason either.
No, but we've seen this from name your preseason backup quarterback. We've seen him come in and play great in training camp and preseason, and then nothing's ever materialized in the regular season. Now, can that be different with Brosmer? Sure it can. But I'm not going to I've been jaded enough by the McCarthy hype this year and burned by it that I'm not going to sit here on this show and say that Brosmer is going to come out and light things up tomorrow. Could he? Sure, he could. Could he be just as bad as McCarthy tomorrow? Probably equally as possible.
I don't even know that he throws 20 plus times. They're going to lean on that. I mean, if you're playing the game smart, you're going to lean on the run game with Brosmer going in there for his first.
Which means they're going to throw the ball 42 times. How many times have we seen that this year? McCarthy can't hit the
they're not helping out these young quarterbacks.
In a one-score game, and they throw the ball 42 times when they're running the ball at 5 to 6 yards a clip, so they run the ball 13 times and throw the ball 45 times.
You know what? In all of our wins this year, that run game has been what's been getting us those wins. Yeah. When you stick with the run and being able to run the clock down at the end of the game. I mean, that's what's been getting us a lot of those wins this year is the run game.
Yeah. But, I mean, you still look at it on that short yardage stuff. Again, when we run it on the short yardage stuff, we convert about 75% of the time. J.J. McCarthy has yet to complete a pass on third or fourth and short.
Right. And, another thing in Brosmer's defense is that he has 6 years of college football in his back pocket.
Yeah.
He has those reps.
Yeah.
FCS for his first 5 years.
5 years. And
And then Division I is last year. So he has those reps. I expect Brosmer's learning curve to be a little bit farther ahead than McCarthy's learning curve at this point.
Yeah.
I truly do. With those reps. And, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me tomorrow if Brosmer was to come out and have a average to above average game playing quarterback for this team. The only thing that this team is missing is competent quarterback play.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Mason's had great success against a lot of teams this year, but KOC refuses to keep handing him the ball.
Well, because KOC is pass first, second, and third, and will run fourth, and Jordan Mason struggles in pass protection.
Right. With Zimmer, it was run, pass, punt.
Right.
With KOC, it's pass.
Pass on fourth down and turn the ball over. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I don't know what to expect tomorrow, but we can talk about that a little bit more.
Exactly, Gary. That's just another one of those things that blows your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I would rather have Gruden up in here. I love me some Gruden.
Yeah. Bruce Arians he's too old. Thing of it is that there isn't I'm not saying this is going to happen, but there's not a ton of, I guess the hot name coordinators that are out there.
I just want a good head coach of football.
Right.
I just want a good head coach. Zimmer was this defensive guy. O'Connell's this offensive guy. I want a happy medium, decent head coach.
Yeah.
A guy that doesn't need to call the plays on offense or defense, but oversees all three phases. You're Jim Harbaugh, not Jim, John Harbaugh's of this world.
Yeah.
Over in Baltimore, that doesn't call plays defensively, offensively, or special teams, but oversees his entire team. That's the type of head coach I want.
Well, and I'm not against your head coach calling plays as long as he's smart enough to understand that, sometimes he needs to alter his scheme. Zimmer was terrible about that. Kevin O'Connell is terrible about that.
Yeah, I would love to get Chucky up in here.
Yeah, but the longest tenured head coach who wants a change of scenery. No, I don't want him.
Tomlin?
I don't want Tomlin.
No, not with the whole middle of the pack.
No, Tomlin would be the perfect coach for the Wilfs because he's going to keep you in that, right. 9-8, 10-7 range, and you're going to make the playoffs, but you're going to be one and done. but you're going to be good enough for the entire year to keep butts in the seats, and that's yes, he won a Super Bowl a lot, but largely with Bill Cowher's team that he won the Super Bowl with. So
Right.
again, that's kind of what Gruden did with Tampa Bay too. But
We also brought a down and out Raiders team to the Super Bowl too,
yeah,
with Rich Gannon at quarterback. But
yeah,
I love me some Gruden. I love what he
yeah. No,
brings.
I like
I
Gruden
think he
too, but
kind of got the shit end of the deal. He took the brunt of the blame for a lot of the shit that went down towards the end of his last Raiders tenure. But I mean, I would be all about bringing him in. I don't think he's as much of a hateful person that he's painted out to be these last few years, as some people like to say. But
no, I don't think he is either. But I I just want somebody to come in here who's going to be a competent coach that can get this team to a freaking Super Bowl.
I mean, yeah, Ant, that's a name I like a Mike Vrabel. Yeah,
Yeah, but Vrabel is
he's
not
not
going
available for
anywhere.
one. Yeah, Vrabel's not going anywhere,
No, yeah,
especially with what he's done in New England.
but Vrabel is a prime example of somebody who's smart enough to understand that you know you
It's a
get
big
you
no
bring
for me
you
there,
get the
brother.
guys in. No, I don't want Dayball as a head coach.
No,
No,
if you're gonna go with Dayball, then
Uh,
you might as well just stick with O'Connell.
Dayball as a coordinator, sure,
Right.
because I mean Dayball, he was the guy that got Josh Allen from a wildly
There you go.
inaccurate.
There you go, Mickey. Yep, absolutely. Dayball as a OC, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that I'm okay with. But
Okay.
here again, Kevin, that would never happen with KOC here because it's a different system.
Nope. And they would butt heads, I think.
Yeah, they would. And Kevin O'Connell's not going to give up play calling unless he's forced to. And I think if you try to force him to do it, then he's going to say, okay, trade me to somebody else. And at that point, okay, who wants him?
What's that there, Yeti?
Anthony Richardson rumors?
No. At this point, no. With what we got going on right now with McCarthy and Brosmer, I don't think Richardson brings anything extra to that
No,
quarterback.
and fairness in whatever. Brunswick and I were both big Anthony Richardson fans here when he came out in the draft. And yes, Kevin O'Connell, likes him, whatever. But you're going to run into the same problem with Anthony Richardson that you're doing with J.J. McCarthy. He's not the type of quarterback that fits well into Kevin O'Connell's system.
Right.
Anthony Richardson's another guy that can go, gets off script and moves around and makes plays happen. He's not a stand in the pocket and go through 17 different progressions and that kind of stuff.
And it's funny because I've heard KOC say numerous times, I want a guy that can make plays outside the pocket. When in reality, it doesn't.
But he says that, but yeah, he doesn't.
Right. It sure as hell doesn't seem like it.
No, because he prohibits his guys from doing that because that's what McCarthy did in college. To your point of the post that you made on our Facebook page earlier, what the hell happened to that guy? Kevin, right. I fully believe that he has been instructed to not run, to not do any of that stuff, just stand in the pocket, move out only if you have to, and deliver the ball down the field.
I agree, and once again, I would take Winston over Richardson at this point. That's if Kevin O'Connell's still running the ship.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, realistically,
if you get the right coach in here that can utilize that skill set, that's a different thing.
But you get somebody that can utilize that skill set, they can do it with McCarthy.
Exactly. Right.
Again, with the backup quarterback situation and stuff this year, the dumbest thing they did was and as much as I hate to say it, they let Nick Mullins go.
Yeah.
Mullins could fit in this system.
We all know why that is.
Yeah.
Get a look at KOC's playbook.
Not that it's going to make any difference, but
no.
Winston's the fun version of Nick Mullins.
The thing with Winston is all the talent in the world is there. It's just he needs to be reined in. It's like
Yeah.
it's like Case Keenum with a tremendous arm and great talent, but just not being able to reel in the interceptions.
Yeah. But
No
yeah,
shit, Doc.
exactly. And that's the problem
That's in all phases of the game too.
we've had, for the better part of the last 2 decades, longer ago than that, the coaches that we've had have been that square peg in a round hole thing. Childress with his lump of clay that he thought he was a quarterback guru because he was the offensive coordinator under Donovan McNabb. We all know now that everything that happened there was Andy Reid. It wasn't Brad Childress. Mike Zimmer with his defense was rigid as a frickin' fence post. Kevin O'Connell is turning into the same thing.
Another thing with Winston is that he's really matured too over the years, and he's really taken another step in his leadership skills, I think, as well. He's always been a great leader, but I mean, he's really matured. He was kind of immature coming into the league, but I think he's really matured throughout his playing career.
Yeah.
And I believe given a shot in the right place, and like I said, if you could reel him in on the field, he could be a serviceable starting quarterback in this league.
Yeah. Plus, he's an entertaining dude.
Exactly. Guys like him. Yes. Not that it's about being liked by any means, but
yeah. And we talked about this a little bit ago. I don't see it
no.
as long as Kevin O'Connell's here. Daboll won't be because conflicting systems and too many egos in there, and
yes, too many egos in the building.
And as far as head coach goes, no, I don't want him here as a head coach. As a quarterback coach,
great fucking play by Winston at tight end or at receiver there last week.
Yeah. Quarterback coach, sure.
What, Daboll? I don't think he'd go to that level. He's going to want at least
he's going to be an offensive coordinator somewhere next year. I don't think he's going to be a head coach, but Gary, I wanted nothing to do with Mac Jones coming out of college. I know that's been the hot rumor.
I think Mac Jones in this system could play as well as Darnold did.
Probably.
Yeah.
But
does that mean he's the answer?
No. Again, Mac Jones is going to do what every other veteran quarterback that we've had in here for the past 50 years is going to do.
A Band-Aid.
Probably win you enough games to get you into the playoffs. You might win one playoff game, and then you're done.
Right.
It's not. Mac Jones is not going to get us to the Super Bowl. Just
this next little tidbit that I'm going to throw out there, building off of what you're saying right now.
Yep.
We have not won multiple playoff games, and we've said this numerous times on this show throughout the 5 years that we've had it. We have not won multiple playoff games since the 87-88 season.
Yep. When we went down
under Bernsey.
Beat the Saints, and then we beat the 49ers. Yep.
Outside of that, we've won one at most throughout every playoffs that we've been to since the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Either we've been the number one seed and gotten the bye and then won the game to get to the NFC Championship and then lost in the NFC Championship, or lost in the wild card round. Yeah. Or won in the wild card round and lost in the
divisional round. Yeah.
Yes.
Mac Jones is Spicy Kirk. Yeah. You're probably not wrong on that one, Riley.
Kirk. I don't know. I mean, Mac Jones is kind of flatline as far as emotion goes, in my opinion.
Yeah, like I said, I've never been a Mac Jones fan. If he ends up coming in being a quarterback here, yeah, I'm going to cheer for him, just like I do cheer for any other quarterback that we have in here.
But I don't think he's the answer.
No, he's not.
McCarthy's more of the answer than Mac Jones is at this point.
Mac Jones is another bridge quarterback.
You continue if you're going to go out with Mac Jones, then you continue to develop JJ McCarthy.
Yeah.
So.
And that's the thing. What they should have done this year is they should have. They should have told Daniel Jones, hey, you're going to have every opportunity to beat out McCarthy to be the starter here.
By spicy, I mean black pepper, Midwest spice.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that. I like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, let's not get any chipotle or cayenne or something like that. We got to stick with the black pepper. I mean, that's. And we'll put it on the side. We can't put it in the hot dish because it gets too spicy for that Norwegian palate. So.
I don't know
Anyway,
about that either. And who the fuck is gonna pay? He's not doing anything spectacular this year.
no, he's
He's
going to
winning
get it.
some
He's going to
games,
get a contract like Darnold got with us last year, probably $10 to
but
$15 million a year.
playing under Shanahan, who doesn't get enough credit for being a really good head coach, honestly, in my opinion, down there in San Francisco,
Mm-hmm.
but missing half your roster and still fielding a competitive team says a lot. Rhino. Year after year,
Shanahan is the coach that Kevin O'Connell thinks he is.
he's the coach that Kevin O'Connell should be.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, well,
we didn't think we are going to have 45 minutes of an episode here, but we're already 50 minutes in and we still got to do the preview.
Well, there ain't much of a preview because all the other NFC teams have played this, or North teams have played already. But you got any keys to the game for this week?
Rattle the shit out of Sam Darnold, number one, and first and foremost. You know, if anybody knows Sam Darnold's game, it's this coaching staff, and they need to capitalize on that, from the get-go. Get after Sam Darnold.
Which the Vikings typically do not tend to do.
Get after Sam Darnold, get into his head, make him make mistakes. Like I said to Rhino before the show, before we hit it live, Sam Darnold may just win us another game tomorrow. So,
yeah.
Play your keys, be efficient, protect Brosmer in his first start, set him up for success, which KOC has proven time and time again this year that he hasn't made easy for any of his quarterbacks that have played this game this year.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, well, that was the thing. Carson Wentz actually fit the system, and he didn't play well in it either.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
God,
for me,
if Brosmer goes out with an injury, we got what's his name coming in most likely, not Ritter, but
Wolford.
Wolford, yeah, who hasn't even. I don't think he's seen them. How many snaps has he even taken at the NFL level?
I think he's like 2-2 or something like that as a starter. So
no to Malik Willis. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah.
No, Malik Willis, no.
And I don't care who a player played for previous to us. If he's a player that can help the team out, I don't care if he came from the Packers, the Lions, the Jets, whoever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess my keys tomorrow is just go out there and play a clean game. Play hard. Play like you want to be on that field. Don't make the stupid mistakes, the pre-snap penalties, the penalties on special teams. Miles Price, dude, you've got a potential huge career in this league as a kick and punt returner. Don't fuck it up by these stupid turnovers. You've got 3 or 4 of them this year.
Perfect. That punt debacle last weekend, I don't believe is as much on Price as it is as much as if it was a fluky type of play.
No, he needs to get the hell out of there and let that ball go. And he needs to be
bounce.
Right, but he needs to get clear of it so he doesn't
That is
get
true.
anywhere near there. And that falls back on Matt Daniels for not teaching
Matt Daniels has been one of the biggest problems of this fucking coaching staff. Between him and Cooper.
Yeah.
On the offensive line, O-line coach.
Doc wants to make it worth his bar tab. Yeah, that's fair. Then the only other thing I got is just make it a competitive game. Just don't go out and get embarrassed.
I agree. Dallas Turner's really turned it up the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. Grenard is, I think, is trending on playing. He's still listed as questionable, but if I was to guess, he's going to play at least some tomorrow.
3 p.m. Central Standard Time start for the game, so a lot of you West Coasters can wake up at a decent time and still catch the game. Not have to wake up at fucking 9 o'clock in the morning to watch a football game.
Well, flat with no energy, it's a coaching issue. If they come out swinging and fired up, it's a yeah, it's a good point. I guess we'll see what happens. Like I said, prediction segment again. Packers and Lions played on Thanksgiving. Packers beat the Lions. Bears and Eagles played yesterday. Bears beat the Eagles, which was kind of surprising to me. I expected Green Bay to win on Thanksgiving, but I did not expect to see
That
Chicago.
that
Chicago,
no that Chicago team is getting more and more confident by the week, Rhino, and
I gotta get
deservedly so.
I gotta give Chicago their credit this year. Ben Johnson has been the difference maker.
Yes, he's
He's turning Caleb Williams into a
and
decent
he's saving
quarterback.
that GM over there his job as well.
Right? Yeah. Ryan
So
Poles has got a reprieve because of Ben Johnson.
right, and Caleb Williams is starting to look like a competent quarterback in this league.
Yeah.
So, like I said, a confident when you're winning games and your team gets that confident, it goes a long way in this league. So,
Mm-hmm.
Monangai looks pretty good too at running back over there.
Yeah, well, he
Especially
was
since
he
he's
was a
got fresh
guy
legs.
he was a guy I was hoping that the Vikings would have taken in the draft this year, but it didn't happen. So, you want to give a prediction for tomorrow, or
Not really, but I'm going to say I haven't picked against the Vikings this year. I'm going to say Seattle takes this one with just the state and the state of the team and franchise and this the feel. It just feels like a lot of this team is checked out.
mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, and I mentioned this before the Detroit game. I can't pick the Vikings to win a game until they show me something. They showed it for one game, and then they went right back to not showing shit. I I can't in I have no expectations for tomorrow. I can't in good conscience pick the Vikings to beat. Yeah, you're right, Riley. And I think the same thing could happen with JJ McCarthy if you got the right coach in here with him.
yeah, year two has been big for a lot of rookie quarterbacks, but then you
Mm-hmm.
got the sophomore slump guys. So Bo Nix is winning despite his regression.
Right.
So
And as much as I hate Sean Payton, I mean that's most of that's on him. He is a good coach.
I can't stand his
He
smug
he
ass
is a he is a monumental dickwad, but he's a good coach.
douchebag. I don't like the fact that these teams that like to mock the skull chant, but there's history there. You mock the skull chant, you ain't doing nothing in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So you got the Packers fans last week mocking the skull chant.
Yeah.
So
Doc's prediction is pain. And won't be surprised. I won't be surprised if we lose by more than 10, but I won't. I will equally be not surprised if we win by 10 or more.
I would love to see the Bro Show go out there and toss 2 touchdowns in his first NFL start. Which also a little tidbit here for you: the first Minnesota Golden Gopher to ever start a game in the Common Area NFL.
The first quarterback to graduate from Minnesota, not the
Well,
first
there you
Minnesota quarterback. Spurgeon
right,
Wynn
Virgin
played.
win, yeah, but he transferred right now.
Yes, but he still played. He played quarterback for the Gophers.
And Dungy played
That's the thing. You've got to word this just correctly to bring it
right,
into the one of us type
right,
deal.
yep,
Just to massage it and make it fit your narrative a little bit more.
right, right.
But anyway, yeah, that's what I'm not going to give a prediction tomorrow. But like I said, I have zero expectations. Go out and show me something. That's all I'm asking.
Something, right.
But with that, I want to thank you guys all for joining us on a late night Saturday. Had a good conversation. We really had no had no expectations for this show because of the stuff that's been going on, but the comments kept it rolling for an hour like you guys always do. So thank you again for showing up, bringing the discussion, bringing the comments. That's why we are the most interactive pregame show out there. And let's just give the fans something to cheer about tomorrow. That's all I want.
Huh. Right, coming in hot the last little bit of the show.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me any. But with that, why don't you take us home there, Brunswick?
I mean, there's really not much to take home at this point in the season.
No.
It would be nice to get a win tomorrow, but we're going to Seattle, 12th man there. It's not going to be easy for Brosmer by any means. Seattle defense is pretty damn good. Um, if
Seattle,
Bros, I
Seattle, there, there's another prime example there of a young head coach who has
yeah,
realized that to be
have
flexible and make stuff
capitalized
work.
on
Yep.
things. If I could see Brosmer throwing a couple touchdowns, that would be really great. I think. I'm excited to see the kid go out and get a chance to start. I love his quick release, which I alluded to earlier in the episode. Yeah, he's the most prepared guy probably in the locker room as far as that goes. As they say, his preparation is just bar none, top of the line, and the way he processes is pretty damn good. He gets through his
Mhm.
reads. He doesn't just stay hooked on one guy, and he seems to be fairly accurate and able to layer the ball. You're not going to get those 100 mile per hour piss missiles
Right.
like we've seen with McCarthy this season. So with that being said, I know I picked Seattle to win, but I would love nothing more for our Vikings to go out and pick up that W tomorrow. And we'll see y'all next week on another episode of Vikings Uncensored. Millie and Aubrey, if you're out there watching, Dad loves and misses you guys. Skull.
I do have one more thing I want to bring up. Please, or no interceptions tomorrow thrown by us. And let's go get an interception. We have not had an interception since the Cincinnati game. We
We've
have
got
3
3.
this year and none since Cincinnati. So let's turn that around too. But with that, you guys have a great Sunday, and hopefully we'll have something to talk about positive next week. So with
I
that,
bid you all adieu.
have a great one, guys.